Blessings. Welcome in. Welcome all. I hope everyone is doing fabulous on this fine day as the sun is shining. I just wanted to pop in, and I'm not sure exactly how this will unfold, but there's a topic that my universe has been nudging me for a while now to speak on and share my experience with. And it's not a subject I like to talk about, honestly, because within our communities, mostly the spiritual communities, there is much debate. There is much distortion. And for me personally, I feel it has turned into a consciousness trap that keeps many bound into repetitive cycles of pain and suffering, with the hope and intent and the spiritual philosophy that they are reaching for higher states of awareness, higher states of love, yet it becomes a idolization and a romanticized vision of love, of divine love, of the true essence and self-love. So that was a long roundabout way to begin speaking about the journey of self-love, which is masked by the term the twin flame journey. Divine counterparts, mirror souls, soulmates, whatever one chooses to term and label. So many people find themselves, they have this awakening within them, this stirring of this deep sensation of an inherent knowing, an inherent connection to something more than themselves. And what happens is that it is reflected back to self through other. And many people, they're magnetized. It's just the energetics of it, the magnet, and they're magnetized to another being. And again, many various aspects play out within this, okay? Either way, what I want to state is the twin flame journey is you. It's the journey back to self. It's the journey back to source. It is the journey of self-love, self-discovery, recollection, reclamation, soul retrieval at the end of the day. And it's recognizing that deep resonance that you feel for other is that longing and yearning for your source to become unified and be whole with yourself and your source again, and not experience separation anymore. It's not about other third dimensional human being. It's you. All they are is a reflection point to you. A mirror to show and allow yourself to see yourself at a deeper and deeper intrinsic level. All your fears, all your wounds, all your traumas. And it's a path of forgiveness. It's a path of remembrance, of liberation, of truth, of who you are deep down within. So, to say that when I first awakened, I was set onto a path, and I had an individual in my life, and this individual's been in my life for 6 years and has been a very driving force within my awakening and has pushed me even further and further in my psychological, emotional, and spiritual growth. And many times I have experienced the most profound love. And I want to state this is all energetic. Okay. I've never met this individual in my life. Never even talked to them on the phone. Okay. But I was able to become intimate with the energy because I had a reflection point. I had a reflection point of my source manifest for me to see myself more clearly. So, like within this twin flame path, people meet these people, okay? And they're just like, we have this mission together. We're supposed to do this. We're supposed to have. But they bring it down to a third dimensional, romanticized level. It's an energy that we cultivate within ourselves. And it actually has a geometric structure and form that you build within your physical form, which helps activate your light bodies, which eventually, when you come into union with self, when you learn to balance your masculine and your feminine energies, thus the hieros gamos uniting and creating the third energy, which is your sacred divine child, your Christic self. And as you continue to harmonize and flow and learn the dance between your own masculine and feminine energies, you begin to embody and build the crystalline structure of your Christos Sophia, your avatar. This twin flame journey is so much more than you and other. It's learning your greatness. Every struggle, every time that person runs from you, it's an opportunity to go deeper within self and look at you, where you're still holding back, where you're still holding judgments, where you're still in trauma, where you're still playing out old stories and perspectives about self and your reality. When others not available, they're ghosting you, they're running away. Instead of blaming and saying that person's in fear, that person's in trauma, that's the reflection point where you go back and say, okay, where am I still holding on to these things? Where am I not facing my shadow? Where am I not looking at these things? And go deep and do the work and the healing. And empower yourself. Advocate for yourself. These are things that I've learned within this dynamic that is staged for us to play. Okay? It's the greatest love story, and I'll tell you that. And I always believed that, even when I still believed it was about other. The greatest love story is you. Your love for self. and the things that you recognize. And through the journey, you start to see like your likes, your dislikes. Where am I disempowering myself? Where am I not standing my ground? Where am I not holding my boundaries? Where am I giving my power away? And when do I step in and clean that back and say, no more? I refuse to be treated as such for still chasing an illusionary dream of an unrequited love. A codependent relationship. When you can recognize that you are whole, all within self, that you don't need other to complete you, to fulfill you. Because if you're relying on other to sustain your happiness, to give you the things that you need, you will always be chasing and trying to fill a void that cannot be filled. If you're not willing to fill yourself with the divine essence and love that is available day in and day out, you can't have the expectation that other will give it to you, or that they even have the means. We're all human here. We all have our own issues. We all have our own traumas. But if you are relying on an outside energy source to complete you, unfortunately, there will be a lot of pain. There will be a lot of suffering. And there will be unfulfillment. So it's coming back to self. How can I nurture self? How can I care for self better when others are not capable of giving me or us what we need? And it's going in and checking in with self and connecting to your source. And allow that source to fill you up and provide for you. As humans, we dream of the great love, the one, the only. And somehow we lost the thought and the idea that that one and only was ourselves. That one was that oneness with the divine, with the source. And to return back to oneness, to the unified self. Completely whole. Full of life, love, compassion, integrity, truth, and honesty. And not playing in these lower based constructs and manipulations. We live in a society, as far as relationships go, where many of us are codependent, dependent, in toxic relationships, friendships, jobships, family ships, whatever you want to call it. And many times we're all hurt, or we're afraid that people don't love us. And if we're afraid of that, that's the opportunity to go deeper into self and say, where am I not loving myself? Where can I give myself more love? What is it that I need? What do I need right now? How can I soothe my pain? What would bring me joy and happiness, and not rely on an outside source to give that to me? Yes, it's beautiful. It's wonderful when others are able to provide and help complement your energy. But there is no other half of you that once you come together, bing, I'm whole now. No, the job is you make yourself whole. I did this journey for a long time, and this person has been in and out of my life, okay? And every time I was able to use my pain, my hurt, all of that to fuel and empower myself to say no more, to strengthen myself and my connection to my higher self, to my source, to know what true love is, to establish boundaries, to soothe my pain, to transmute, to romance myself, to give myself all that I needed because I had it already in within me, because I am already whole. I don't need other to sustain. And it's recognizing that. You have a feminine, you have a masculine. And it's knowing when to step into those roles. Your feminine is feeling wounded. How can you step into your masculine aspect and provide support? How can you bring comfort and protection to allow your feminine aspect to go through the healing that is necessary? When your masculine is in the war-torn aspect and raging out and wants to fight injustice, how can your feminine provide love and nurture and softness and care and soften and bring the two back into balance? For me, that's very important in recognizing when we enter relationships, we carry a lot of stuff. We carry a lot of baggage. And then we project it on others and expect them to fix it, expect them to heal it. Or we expect them to be like every other relationship. And it's recognizing that in order to have healthy, sustainable connections with people, you have to truly love yourself and know your self-worth. So I came to a monumental completion with this journey of self-love. And again, I had an individual in my life, and it was very difficult to remove and detach because the energy was so strong. And that was because we spent a millennia together. So we had a lot of things to work through. And people can sit there and be like, oh, well, they were your karmic. Everybody's a karmic if you look at it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? We all just keep recycling and re-entering this game until you finally recognize you don't have to play the game anymore. So either way, what I wish to just express, it has been the most rewarding journey of self-discovery. All the trials, all the tribulations gave me an opportunity to go deeper and deeper into self, into my Akash, and go back into these lifetimes, especially the ones that I shared with this individual, and reclaim my power, reclaim my aspects of self and those wounds, and do the soul retrieval and reintegrate. And each time I came out more empowered. And I'm grateful and thankful for that individual. But I don't look at it like, but we're meant to be together. Why won't they just wake up? Because everybody's got free will and free choice at the end of the day. And all you can do is focus on you. So why keep giving your power away? Why keep giving all your love away? All your nurture, all your care to something, someone, some situation that's just draining you, siphoning your energy. Yet you're not willing to give it to yourself because you expect another to fulfill you. That's an illusion. That is a distortion. And it's unfortunate within our community, we are propagating these storylines, these fifth dimensional constructs that create a cap, that keep people bound from really expanding outward into their highest potential and the greatness in which they are. Like, I truly believe, yeah, you can share immense love, crazy love, divine love with other, and have a particular purpose and role and collaborate for bigger, greater things than we could probably imagine. But if you are not in alignment, if you're not embodying the Christ Sophia, the unification of self, and you're fighting and arguing and reliving traumas and this, that, and the third. It's just these cycles over and over and over and over again. Eventually you got to sit there and say, enough is enough. It's like, it's interesting. It's sacrificing self to self for the greater good of all. And it's recognizing the more of us that can embody this frequency, this vibration, this geometric structure, could you imagine how much that would shift the collective reality? It's just insane. I don't know. I don't know if I've communicated myself clearly, and I probably haven't said all the things that I want to say, but I'm just flowing. I'm just flowing right now and sharing a little bit of my experience and what I've gone through. And it's recognizing your twin flame is you. It is an energy that you cultivate within yourself, that you build and you harmonize within self. And maybe eventually I will go into the further stages when you reach that unification within self of the energetics and the light body structures that we build and how we actually reach our avatar. But at this point, I guess it's not relevant for many. It's the purpose of this right now is to get people out of the consciousness, the traps, these storylines, this romanticized thought of being split from source, and there's only one twin flame, because you can look at the perspective, everyone's your twin flame. Every relationship, every person that you meet is a reflection point to see yourself clearer and deeper at a more intrinsic level, and be able to connect more deeply in understanding who you are as a soul, and remembering who you are, and remembering your divine, your connection to everything, all. That you were connected to everything and everyone. You were not separate from anything. And it's honoring that and respecting other beings and seeing them through the eyes of the divine. Not as manipulators, not as hate mongrels, not as traumatized beings. You may recognize they have those aspects, but that's not truly who they are. There's a soul deep down within there. And it's seeing past those things. Because we're all there at some point. But if you keep looking outwardly to other people to make you happy, to be dependent on another, to provide for you, to heal your wounds, to be emotionally supportive and understanding, to be able to communicate the way that you need them to. Not everyone is going to be able to meet you on your level. So you have no choice but to go within and connect to your source and find ways to empower yourself. And that's hard. It's a lot of goddamn work. I'm not going to lie. But it's the most fucking rewarding. Like, I'm sorry, I get excited about it because it's a small success that I have achieved in this journey that I know. It's not all about these romantic relationships. Yes, they're beautiful. But have you ever been in an intimate relationship with yourself? With the divine? It is the greatest fucking love you will ever encounter. That you can ever feel flow through your whole body. That explodes your heart. It's insane. Yet we look to others and say, oh, that's what they can give me. Now I'm going to start being stupid. I can feel it because it makes me giddy. So I think I'm complete because, Spirit's shutting me down and saying, all right, we're going to step off here. But yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit about that. And at the end of the day, it's a journey of self-love. It's not about other. It's about you. You, your soul, your spirit, your higher self, and returning back to oneness. And embodying that and carrying that through your day and emanating that love, that pure essence and beauty with no judgment. And just sharing that with the world. So, I send you all much love and many blessings on your journeys forward as the sun is setting and I'm starting to get cold. It's an amazing journey. even through the trials and tribulations, through the undertows, through the hand smacks, through the tower moments. It's an opportunity to break our hearts open even wider, to absorb the radiant light and pure love that exists beyond what many of us can fathom. So I invite you, get ready and explore. Explore yourself and find greater, deeper meaning in who you truly are.